Hey friends, how you doing tonight? It's Rick here from December 12. This is the third part of my yearly annual Christmas talks. This one centers on, it's going to be called Erase the Hate. Now, my version. Now when you see erase the hate in society, I'm nothing against it. Basically, it's a little different than what I'm talking about. They're talking about hate of ethnic groups and different stuff like that, which I agree with 100%. Nobody should be hating anybody. But that's not what I'm talking about tonight. I'm talking about your personal hate that a lot of people have within them for various different reasons and how dangerous that can be. So I'm going to talk about this from friends of mine that are non-Christian and friends of mine that are. This is for all, okay? Hate is not a good thing. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, right, left, whatever. Hate is not a good thing. A lot of times in society, I'll get into this a little bit, we misuse the word hate. We say we hate, but a lot of times it's really not hate. But sometimes, many times it is in today's society. Very dangerous. Now, why is hate a bad thing? We all have different kinds of emotions. We have a range of emotions. We have anger. We have sorrow, joy, sadness. And then we have hate. Hate is the most dangerous. Why? Because hate is an extreme action. I've said this before in other videos. I don't care what side of the spectrum, political spectrum, moral spectrum, whatever you're on. If you're an extremist, you're probably wrong. Because extremism says, you do it my way, I'm not going to listen to you, and I'm going to force you to do it my way by all means necessary. Hate falls into that. We see that in all different ways. On the right, on the left. We see it a lot with terrorism. That's hate. See, what the problem is, we can disagree and have anger, justified anger. There are many times we see it in the Bible from my Christian friends, of course, myself as well, being a Christian person. You see justified anger throughout Scripture. It's not hate. Justified anger is when something is wrong and you are upset about it for good reason. You deal with it properly, but then you lose your anger. When you fall into hate, you don't lose it. It becomes like a demon possessed you. It engulfs your whole body to the point where you don't have a will of your own. You succumb to your passions when you hate. And now everything in your mind is focused on that. And the people that you hate have to believe the way you believe, or else they have to pay the consequences, whatever that may be. Maybe as little as just not talking to them anymore, ostracizing them, or it could be as bad as violence, which you see in society. I gotta go back to the terrorism. Terrorists that we see, the Muslim terrorists and all that stuff, hate everybody who's against them, to include their own Muslim people who don't believe like them, are not allowed to have a different way of thinking. They need to conform or be punished in their mind, even to the point of death. That's hate. We see it even, sports teams. Most people, when I say they hate their rival, they don't really mean that. It's kind of a competitive thing. But there are people who actually use that. You go to a stadium, you have a different, jersey on, and you cheer a different team. We see this in a lot of areas. And they'll get beat up. They'll get... Well, I've seen this when I went to hockey games. I hate to say it. And I saw this with and all fans do it, so I'm not singling out a fan. But I used to go to live in the Northeast, Boston Bruins fans, which I'm one of them. And when the Canadiens team came, especially like Montreal, rival, there'd be all these incredibly nasty, off-color disgusting sexual stuff and whatever you want to call from the people that came from Canada. I'm sure that happens in other arenas, so I'm not signaling out just that group of people. And not everybody did it, of course, but it was disgusting to the point that after the game, I remember one time it was, I think, when the Canadian teams came and they won. And so that wasn't settling good in with some of the Boston fans, and it was going to have a big brawl outside in the subway because the other team beat them. And that's stupidity. That's not competitiveness anymore. Of a game, that's one of the most least important things in society. It's fun, sports, and very healthy for society. But to get to that level, no. That's stupidity and that's hate. So we see that all the time. I mean, like, I see people I can't stand. I hate my cousin, or I hate this guy who used to be my friend because they did something to me. I hate them. It might be a legitimate thing they did to you that was wrong, but you shouldn't hate. You can disagree with what they did, confront them, deal with it, and grow together. But when you hate, you can't grow. There's no growth in hate. There's my way or the highway. My way or you get punished. Very, very dangerous. This Christmas season is a season of hope and peace and love and all that wonderful stuff with our family. We tend to be a little nicer around Christmas time, and that's because of the mantle of Christ. Makes Christmas the way it is. But we shouldn't just think that we're only going to do this for Christmas time and then go back to the new year and live the same way. No. If you think in your minds you have any hate, even in a small way, please, at this Christmas time, do yourself a favor and get rid of it. I'm not saying you get rid of what you stand for. Whatever it may be, you should always take a stand. And stand by what you believe. I'm not saying that you can't. But don't ever get to the point where everybody has to do what you want to do. And you can't listen to anybody else's side, or else they have to pay. Don't ever think like that. Scripture never did that. Christ always put out the tenets of truth. He never forced anybody. Anybody who thinks they're Christian and can force people to believe the way they believe don't understand that's not Christianity. So we should never think, even if we feel we're right in whatever it is, morality, politics, whatever it is, even if we feel we're right, and you have a right to have an opinion, you can have disagreements. You might even get a little heated. Okay? You can banter back and forth, but then you calm down. You never personally attack them because they think differently than you. Because first of all, you'll never get anybody to believe the way you do if you live in hate. They'll just turn anybody off. It's never going to work. Never. I mean, you may hurt somebody like the terrorists and stuff, but you're never going to get people to believe that by doing that. So in your personal lives, this started for the Christmas season. Whatever, if you think you have any semblance of hate for anybody or anything, purge it out of your life and start the new year on a positive state. You'll purge the demons out of you, first of all. You'll be free of this chain that wraps you, because that's what hate does. It's like, what's that thing that was in Spider-Man, Venom, or whatever it was? It wrapped up all around the person and became him different. That's what hate does to you. It changes you. Change back into you. Respect people. Respect people's differences. Stand by what you believe, but respect the fact that people have a right to believe what they want to believe. And you'll never fall into hate. That's my talk for the day. Again, it's my third and final talk that I do annually. And I hope you have a great rest of the week. God bless.